The Earth appears very huge. With numerous states, billions of people, faiths, and ideologies, the Earth actually is very small. Smaller than any guess. We are taking you to the journey of the vastness of the universe. As we distance from the Earth and the solar system, our journey will go on disappearing into the past. We will take you to that point of the Earth and the skies where this entire game had begun. We will find many points on the way the most of us perhaps never have imaged of. We will find out whether our lookalikes exist anywhere in the universe. In this journey, we will also meet those at millions miles away from us but speak our languages. Yes, really you will see it speaking our languages, because it falls in this very journey of ours. In this journey, we will also see the planets that may be our future dwelling. I'm Dan, and Past Crafters has brought a brand new series, The Whole Universe. You will have the first flight with us today on this fabulous journey. Our journey will start from our first station 0.38 million kilometers away, because it is the nearest place we can land on. It is the Moon. It is the nearest heavenly body to the Earth. So near that a spacecraft can take us there in 3 to 4 days. But so distant that all planets, the Earth and the Moon, can be accommodated in this gap. As many as 30 Earths can be put in this distance. This round-shaped stone has been the most beautiful dream of man over millions of years. In her childhood, an old lady on the Moon was weaving on a spindle. But no old lady was found when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin landed on the Moon on July 24, 1979. Rather, the following 6 missions to the Moon also did not find any. Thus, science took away from us a beautiful story of the ancient times. Japanese had a story in the curriculum of school children till the last century. A weak and old man wrapped in a sheet was burning woods in a jungle. He spotted something in the bushes. Here a jackal, a rabbit, and a monkey were playing together. Something struck in the mind of the old man, so he called them for fetching anything to eat, or he would die without food. The monkey jumped to a stream and brought a fish. The silly and lazy jackal just caught a lizard and put it before the old man. The rabbit had the worst as he failed to get anything to feed the hungry man. But showing extreme humbleness, the rabbit presented itself to the old man to eat. The rabbit said, "Oh good old man, I got nothing, so you eat me to satisfy your hunger." So the rabbit jumped into fire. The old man removed the sheet on his body as soon as the rabbit jumped. He at once took the rabbit out of fire and said he was not helpless and hungry but Saka, the god of the skies. In this jungle, he was moving in disguise to test the people on the earth. It goes that Saka fixed the image of rabbit on the Moon to reward it for its sacrifice, so that it remains an example of virtue till end of the world. This and similar stories were popular all over the world. Even today, the people shy of research and investigation believe in such tales. Still, a large number of people imagine the face of the Moon as per their choice. But what image is this in fact? It is not an image at all. Factually, it is lava and ashes spread all over the Moon. The team of Neil Armstrong 50 years ago had in fact brought pieces of the same lava from the Moon. Research on the lava revealed the eruption of countless volcanoes on the Moon 3.5 billion years ago. Their lava spread to thousands of miles. The congealed lava appears like spots from the Earth. Scientists called it seas of the Moon or Maria. They have named every sea like Sea of Knowledge, Sea of Crises, Sea of Cold, etc. The area of black marks that is much brighter on the Moon may be called deserts. This is in fact the ashes that explosion of lava produced and fell on the hills like snow. When the sunlight sheds on the ashes, they reflect and illuminate to every direction. Neil Armstrong also happened to land on the same soft ashes on the Moon. That is why his footprint was so clear and deep. Man had landed on the Moon half a century ago, but his footprints on the Moon are intact to date. They appear printed just a day ago. Do you know why it is so? The reason being the absence of air, cloud, and rain on the Moon, because the Moon does not have a circle of air and gases as we have on the Earth, which means the Moon does not have an atmosphere. For that matter, the human footprint on the Moon will stay intact for millions or billions of years. But the question is whether humanity will be present anywhere in this present form by that time, or the evolutionary process would have given it another shape. It may also be possible the warrior temperament of man had ended the humanity. One thing was certain: whether man existed or not, his footprints would stay on the moon for countless ages. But it was not only the footprints of Neil Armstrong that would remain on the moon for good. Here the prints of another 12 astronauts would also stay intact. They had landed on the moon after Apollo the 11th through Apollo 12, 13, 14, 16, and 17. The moon also bears the prints of golfer Shepard's smashes when he had played golf on the lunar surface. The moon will also bear the prints of lunar vehicles for innumerable ages.
But a name also goes with them all. Did you know a person had printed the name of a beautiful girl on the moon's surface? In fiction, lovers promise their beloved of fetching moon and stars, which actually is not possible. But here is a man who promised his daughter of writing her name on the moon, and he made good his promise. This man was Eugene Cernan, commander of the Apollo 17 mission. He stayed at the moon for 3 days in 1972, and on return, he did a weird act. He leaned down and wrote Tracy, the name of his daughter, on the bright land of the moon. It was an everlasting gift to his daughter. He was certainly quite happy over it, but it also had a mellow grief. Till death, he regretted not taking the picture of Tracy's name on the moon surface. Apollo the 17th was the last mission Eugene took to the moon. After that, no man had landed on the moon. This picture of the Earth is credited as the most beautiful taken from the moon on return of the mission. The first man on the moon, Neil Armstrong, and the last one, Eugene Cernan, are no more. But the history is going to take a big turn. Man is once again preparing to reach and set up a permanent station at the moon. It may be a reality within next 10 to 15 years, and also see its advantages, because a permanent base on the moon would mean research for taking advantage of the lunar resources. However, it is a matter of time. But at present we can see only one beautiful side of the moon. Yes, only one side. Truly reply. How many of us think why over the millions of years, only one side of the moon has been watchable? Why the full moon is always the same, specked and bright, while big marks are also always the same? The reason: the moon not only moves around the world, but also revolves on its axis. It takes equal time in completing one round of the Earth and moving on its axis. That is why a man on the Earth cannot see the other side of the moon. This process is called face lock, but man has made much progress. He has also traced out the second side of the moon. Man has pictured the second side, called far side of moon years ago, which we have seen at massive scale. Now a robotic mission of China has also landed on the other side of the moon. Till uploading of this video, he had conducted different experiments on the moon. Possibly man can get further information regarding creation of the Earth and the moon.
But so far we have learned that the other side of the moon is extremely beautiful and bright, because here the black spots are much less in number. Had the poets seen the second side, they would have imagined their beloved in that context. Possibly our love with the moon has a scientific history, because the moon has once been part of our Earth, and that part was separated from the Earth some 4.5 billion years ago due to impact of a huge meteor. And according to the universal law of gravitation, it began to move around the bigger body, the Earth. And with the passage of time, it is also gradually moving away. The process is continuing to date. The moon is distancing from the Earth by 3.8 centimeters every year. But how do we know this fact? The first two astronauts, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, did a last job before return to the Earth from the moon. They placed a retroreflector on the moon's sand ashes. It was a mirror that reflected the laser light from the Earth back to it. It was like shedding light on a mirror or a wall that reflects back to you. But they were not the only astronauts who installed reflectors on the moon. The like reflectors were also installed at different points by the astronauts of other two missions. The reflectors are still there, helping us to know how distant the moon is from us. They also helped us know the moon is distancing from us 3.8 cms every year. The moon will not be sighted after 50 billion years if it went on distancing at this ratio. But don't worry, minus 45 billion years before that the sun would also become chill after completing its age. And the Earth will also become an untold and unheard tale by that time. If the human race does not want to meet that situation, it needs to learn living in any other planet or the space. That too with love, since love conquers all. Let's move ahead to the sun. It goes that the sun will rise from the west before the doomsday. But between the sun and us, a land exists where every day is a doomsday. Yes, we are leading you to that place where the sun daily rises in the west. We will also show you the tale of this station, but in the next episode of the whole universe.